Five perfect ETFs for wealth building. The perfect 5 ETF weekly dividend portfolio. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Doug, the retirement guy. We put our team together and said, look, we wanted to come up with the five we feel best ETFs that will grow wealth, that will help our income, that will do everything that we ask it to do. And I believe my guys came up with the best total package across the board. We're going to show you today. And before we do, we got to say a shout out to all of our Patreon supporters and all of our subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber to the community, don't be afraid to hit that button, hit that bell notification. You want to find out every time we send a video out because guess what? All we're trying to do is grow your portfolio. So let's get into today's video. Notice to all viewers, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. All past performances do not guarantee future results, and if you're looking for advice on how to handle your finances, always contact a financial advisor or professional before making any decisions. So, the strategy overview, what we want is with a unique investment approach, focus on generating multiple dividend payments every week through a carefully selected portfolio of only 5 ETFs. So I didn't want to come back with the 5, 7, 10. I wanted just straight out. I wanted 5 ETFs. And then I wanted a personal investment perspective, not a financial advice, not what you think is going to work. I says it's an individual strategy for optimizing income. Okay, we want to have as much possible of an income as coming through. We want a weekly dividend focus designed to generate dividend payments multiple times a month. And then we wanted this for a long-term buy and hold strategy. We wanted to be strategic about this. We wanted it for investors with extended time horizons. So this is not for the guy who just immediately turned into retirement. This is for the maybe the 40-year-olds who are starting to get involved, or I want to grow my time. I got 5, 6, 7 years before I get to retirement. What do I do? And we wanted to have a program that we could talk to those people on as well. So the weekly dividend cycle, what we did was first was select the ETFs. And then we want those ETFs to be able to generate income for the investment. And then we wanted to take that income and we wanted to reinvest it back into the portfolio for growth. So we want to just make this thing kind of a snowball to just get bigger and bigger as we go down the pipeline. So we're trying to do everything we could to try to generate this the best possible way. So the first ETF that they chose was YMAG, the Magnificent 7 from YieldMax. Now, YMAG was selected over MAGY based on the superior performance metrics despite a slightly higher expense ratio. So why do we choose YMAG? Well, as we said, the superior total return, YMAG gives us a 25.98% total return versus a 19.63% from MAGY. A higher dividend yield of 49.84% compared to a 35.5%. And a slightly higher expense ratio of 1.12 versus 0.99. Now, despite the marginal higher expense ratio, YMAG's stronger returns made it preferred choice for the Magnificent Seven tech giants. When we looked at it as the bigger picture of this, it just comes right out. Look at the green spots. YMAG just towers over what MAGY does. And the little bit difference in that expense ratio, I don't think it's going to make a big difference for us across the board. Now, this thing pays on every Thursday, so we have that nice Thursday payment coming in before the weekend so that we're able to readjust and make things happen before we leave for the weekend. Now, blocks fun. Now, if you guys don't know, this is going to be our crypto blockchain package. Now, this is a diversified ecosystem exposure. This is going to give us multiple things, not just buying Bitcoin, but it's opening up to the entire cryptocurrency across the board. Growth potential is phenomenal. The priority, it's really dialed in for growth along with dividend payments. So it's a balanced speculation and stability is what we were looking for. We chose a couple different things that popped up on the screen, and that was the performance comparison between blocks and YBTC. Okay, so we really sat down and said, look, we're getting a nice 30% on blocks. YBTC gave it a 42.71, so it's actually a better, YBTC would be actually better until we started looking at the total package of diversification. Okay. We started looking in this across the board. We're getting crypto companies, we're getting Bitcoin, we're getting the tech side of the blockchains. There's just a lot of different companies that make up blocks that makes it worthwhile versus just going out and doing Bitcoin day in, day out. Now this thing pays about an 8% dividend each and every Monday. Now, the 8%, of course, is annually, but so it gives us a nice growth factor, but also gives us some income along the way that we can reinvest with. Number two comes out of the Rec Shares group that came into it, and that was going to be NVIDIA's NVII with the NVIDIA exposure. Now, the two that they compared them with was NVII versus NVDW. And when we come back to it, I'll explain to you a little bit why NVII actually won. They have very similar 6 month performances. The assets under management, we know NVDW is definitely has larger assets across the board, but the strategic selection for this chosen to avoid overlap with WPay. This ensures a better overall diversification. So what we started looking at this and saying, well, look at the strategic move that we made is we have NVIDIA in NVII, which does a very, very good job from RecShares. Remember, RecShares is the one that has the 50-50 blend. 50% of it is going for income, 50% is going for growth, so that you don't have the capped upside side of it. And then we looked at WPay was, is basically what we're looking at as a future ETF. And there's just so many overlaps that you had to pick one. So we chose NVII to avoid that overlapping of the funds. Now this one pays on Wednesday. Then our fourth fund comes into is CHPY, which is semiconductor program. This one is its emerging top performance among its competitors, including GPTY and ULTY, achieving a 34.05% total average over the past 6 months. It has industrial experience. We want to be in that semiconductor business because we feel that's the long-term future of the industry. It has that strong performance of that 34.05% and has a very, very good long-term outlook that is very strong and bullish for the semiconductor growth business. So we put it on the screen with that nice, solid, big 34% return, and that being in this focused, and no one else really has a true semiconductor ETF that performs anywhere close to what this one does, going back to yield max. And this one again pays on a Thursday. So our number 5 fund, I know you guys are all wondering what we're going to get into. Is it going to be ULTY? Is it going to be something new? What is it going to be? Well, we told you right now. Told you this earlier. You could have guessed it. We're going with WPay. We call it the cheat code. Why did they pick this up? It was funny when I had everyone put their stuff onto them. Every one of my people who put in something into this said, I want WPay. And why do they like it? It's the weekly pay universal ETF. I understand this one completely. It is an anticipated fund designed to hold all the weekly dividend ETFs. offering a simplified approach to diversified weekly income. It did not shock me that they came up with this because they wanted an all in one solution. They said if we go ahead and buy WPay, we pretty much are in everything. We're into HOW, we're into AMD, we're into Amazon, we're into Tesla. We got everything covered when we use the WPay. I felt it was a very strategic move, and the choice over NVII over NVDW was specifically done because of the WPay component. And then this gives us a massive enhanced diversification. That WPay will ensure a broader diversification once it's included into the package. So when we say the cheat code, what we loved about this is look at what we built around this. And I love it that we almost literally put the core of our thing is WPay. And then we improved all the way around it to give us that extra little bonus. So we have the simplified access, we have diversified income, we have future growth, we have everything tied into one big package. And then I turn to you and tell you the strategic choice of NVII over NVDW again was specifically done because we knew we were going to use WPay to ensure that diversification. So it's not that we think WPay was going to be the greatest fund or ULTY should be in this mix or anything like that. What we said is let's just keep it at 5 and build out. That's why I put a dot up there that says futures. I believe there's room for some future funds. Maybe it's YMAX. Maybe it's ULTY. Maybe it's Salty. Maybe I should have told the guys, give me 6, make it simpler. But we feel in the 5 that we did gave us the best total program. So the investment philosophy, the guide to 5 perfect ETF solutions, well, is because we wanted a balance between yield and growth. We are not sitting here and just trying to find the one that pays us the biggest dividend or pays us the biggest yield. We want both. We want a separation. We want growth and we want income. We want a diversification. We want to be in all sectors. We want to be in tech. We want to be in crypto. We want to be in semiconductors. We want to be in everything out there so we have a full diversification so we don't have to worry about any particular market going good, bad, or ugly. Strategic avoidance of overlapping. I see this in so many people's portfolios that I talk to nowadays is I see overlapping. I see they watch a video today or they hear it from a friend tomorrow, and all of a sudden they have 4 different Robinhood different ETFs. They have 3 different Tesla programs. They have 5 different crypto programs. It's you have overlap, and overlap, and just you're spending your wheels and you're spending your money on things that if you put it all together as one, it's going to be a lot more powerful. And then we said we want to have a long-term buy and hold program. We don't want to be just replacing this everything. My time's too valuable. I would love to be able to go out and do the cruises that we do, sit at the poolside, play golf, do what I want to do. I want to just buy it, hold it, and not be trading these things off. And I believe my team actually was able to accomplish this in a great way. So in our investment framework, basically is long-term investment. We want avoidance. We want avoidance from overlap. We want diversification. We want a balanced structure between yield and growth. Okay, and we want to be able to drip. We want to drip all this stuff is for people, like I said, down the road. If you got 5, 6, 7 years, this is a perfect setup for you to just continuously drip and grow your income. And the focus on weekly dividends for income strategy, I think this is the best way to use weeklies. It's not all about just getting the money each week, but it's basically being able to get it on your money on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and take that money and reinvest it back into the market. And just continue to buy shares after shares after shares, and then worry with the retirement down the road. The portfolio summary. The perfect 5 ETFs represent a strategic blend of high income, growth potential, and sector diversification. It was carefully created for long-term investors seeking weekly dividend payments. So we give you again the YMEG, blocks, NVII, CHPY, and WPay. It gives all of that together under one portfolio, gives you exactly what we're looking for across the board.
Thank you for watching. Press the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join. Leave any comments below and join our Patreon to support the channel. I'm Doug, the Retirement Guy.